world has never felt stranger. Something is shifting, rapidly, violently, quietly. A tension you can't explain, a countdown no one can see, yet everyone can feel. Right now, somewhere in the Middle East, ancient prophecies written thousands of years ago are unfolding in real time. A nation that didn't exist for 2 millennia suddenly reappeared on the map. Technologies that seemed impossible in biblical times now control how we buy, sell, and exist. Wars rage across continents. Deception spreads faster than truth. Natural disasters strike with eerie precision. And headlines released just hours ago align perfectly with warnings written on ancient scrolls. For generations, people wondered, how close are we to the end? But today, for the first time in history, 5 major biblical signs are unfolding simultaneously. Not symbolic, not metaphorical. Real events happening right now. The question isn't whether these things are happening. The question is, what if Jesus is returning far sooner than we think? These are the 5 signs that Jesus is coming soon. Matthew 24, verse 11. Jesus Christ, speaking to his disciples on the Mount of Olives, delivered a chilling warning. Many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. But here's what makes this prophecy different from any other era in history. In 2024, a study by MIT revealed that false information spread 6 times faster than truth on social media. 6 times. We're living in the first generation where a lie can circle the globe before breakfast. Where artificial intelligence can create videos so realistic, you can't tell what's real anymore. Where deepfakes put words in the mouths of world leaders they never said. The technology of deception has reached a scale the ancient prophets couldn't have imagined, yet somehow, they saw it coming. 2 Timothy 4 verse 3 warned of a time when people will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. Look around. Influencers with millions of followers preach prosperity without sacrifice. Self-proclaimed prophets predict dates and signs, despite Christ himself saying no one knows the hour. Entire movements rise and fall on charismatic personalities rather than ancient truth. The Apostle Paul told the Thessalonians about a great rebellion, a falling away that would come before the end. Church attendance in the Western world has dropped dramatically. In the United Kingdom, Christianity went from the majority religion to a minority in just 1 generation. Across Europe, cathedrals that stood for centuries now stand empty, converted into museums, bars, nightclubs. But the deception runs deeper than empty buildings. Moral foundations that held for thousands of years are being rewritten in real time. What was called evil is now celebrated. What was called good is now mocked. The prophet Isaiah warned about this exact inversion. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness. And the deception isn't slowing down. It's accelerating. May 14, 1948. After 1,878 years of exile, dispersion, and persecution, something impossible happened. A nation was born in a day. Israel declared independence, and the ancient prophecy spoken by Isaiah came to pass. Who has ever heard of such things? Who has ever seen things like this? Can a country be born in a day or a nation be brought forth in a moment? Think about what this means. The Jewish people were scattered across every continent. Their language, Hebrew, was dead, spoken only in religious ceremonies. Their land was occupied by others. By every historical precedent, they should have disappeared, assimilated into the nations that conquered them. The Hittites vanished. The Moabites disappeared. The Philistines are gone. Mighty Babylon fell and never rose. But Israel, against all odds, came back. Ezekiel 37 contains one of the most vivid prophecies in Scripture. God shows the prophet a valley of dry bones, completely lifeless, and asks, "Can these bones live?" Then God declares, "I will bring you back to the land of Israel. I will take the Israelites out of the nations where they have gone. I will gather them from all around and bring them back into their own land." For centuries, scholars debated whether this was literal or symbolic. 1948 answered that question. But the prophecy doesn't stop there. It continues, I will make them one nation in the land. And here's where it gets eerie. For decades after 1948, Israel was divided, split between different territories, constantly at war. Then came the Six-Day War in 1967. In less than a week, Jerusalem, the spiritual heart of Israel, was back under Jewish control for the first time since 70 AD. Jesus himself spoke about Jerusalem in Luke 21 verse 24, saying the city will be trampled on by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. That 2,000-year trampling ended in 1967. Zechariah 12 verse 3 prophesied that Jerusalem would become an immovable rock for all the nations. All who try to move it will injure themselves. Watch the news. Every peace plan fails. Every attempt to divide Jerusalem creates more conflict. The tiny nation of Israel, smaller than New Jersey, dominates international headlines. World powers negotiate, threaten, and scheme, but the rock doesn't move. The fig tree, often used as a symbol for Israel in Scripture, was cursed and withered in the Gospels. But Jesus said in Matthew 24 verse 32, "Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near." The fig tree bloomed again in 1948. And summer, according to Jesus, is near. Matthew 24 verse 6. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Some dismiss this, saying wars have always existed. But read the prophecy carefully. Jesus wasn't just predicting conflict. He was describing a specific pattern, an escalation, a global scale of warfare that would mark the generation before his return. The 20th century saw something humanity had never experienced before: world wars. Not regional conflicts. Not territorial disputes. Total wars that pulled every continent into the chaos. World War I killed 20 million people. World War II killed 70 million. But the prophecy goes deeper. Rumors of wars. We live in the first era where we hear about every conflict, every threat, every rumor in real time. A missile launch in North Korea hits your phone in seconds. A border dispute in Eastern Europe trends worldwide. The rumors never stop. Since World War II, there have been over 250 major armed conflicts. Right now, as you watch this, wars rage in Ukraine, Sudan, Yemen, Myanmar, and the Gaza Strip. Nuclear nations threaten each other daily. China eyes Taiwan. Iran pursues nuclear weapons. Russia rebuilds its military empire. Luke 21 verse 26 adds another dimension. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world. We have weapons now that can end civilization in an afternoon. 9 countries possess nuclear arsenals capable of making the Earth uninhabitable. For the first time in human history, we have the power to fulfill another prophecy: the ability to destroy all flesh. Matthew 24 verse 22 says, "If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive." Ancient readers might have thought that was hyperbole. We know it's not. And here's the pattern Jesus emphasized. These things are the beginning of birth pains. Birth pains don't stay constant. They increase in frequency and intensity. Look at the data. Wars are happening more often, killing more people, spreading faster than ever before. The birth pains are accelerating. Something is about to be born. Daniel 12 verse 4. The angel tells the prophet to seal up the scroll until the time of the end, and then gives a specific marker. Many will go here and there to increase knowledge. For thousands of years, this verse made no sense. Travel was slow. Knowledge was limited. A person born in 1500 AD would die in a world almost identical to the one they were born into. Information moved at the speed of a horse. Then something changed. In 1800, the fastest way to travel was still the same as it was in Daniel's time: by horse or sailing ship. By 1900, we had trains and steamships. By 2000, we had supersonic jets and spacecraft. We went from horse-drawn carriages to landing on the moon in 1 century. The prophet said, many will go here and there. In 2019, before the pandemic, there were 4.5 billion airline passengers. Billion. Millions of people cross borders every single day. We fulfilled the prophecy of travel in a way Daniel couldn't possibly have comprehended. But the second part is even more stunning. Knowledge will increase. In Daniel's time, all human knowledge could fit in a single library. Today, human knowledge doubles every 12 months. Every year, we produce more information than existed in all of human history up to the year 2000. We split the atom, decoded DNA, mapped the human genome, built artificial intelligence. We carry the sum of human knowledge in our pockets. And the prophecy said this would happen at the time of the end. Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17. Written by John on the island of Patmos around 95 AD. A vision of the end times that seemed like pure fantasy for 1,900 years. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark. For centuries, this was impossible to imagine. How could anyone control all buying and selling? How could you mark every person? How could you enforce it globally? Now we know exactly how. In 2020, China launched a digital currency controlled entirely by the central government. Every transaction tracked, every purchase monitored. They can see what you buy when you buy it and turn off your money with a keystroke. Sweden is almost entirely cashless. Stores don't accept paper money anymore. Your phone is your wallet. Your purchases are data. Your financial life exists only in computer systems. In 2021, thousands of people in Sweden had microchips implanted in their hands to store vaccine passports, building access and payment information. The technology isn't coming. It's here. Revelation says the mark would be on the right hand or forehead. Biometric scanners now read hand veins and facial features. The infrastructure for a global control system isn't theoretical. It's operational. But here's the deeper prophecy. Revelation 13 doesn't just predict a mark. It predicts a unified system, a global economy, a worldwide authority that can enforce compliance everywhere at once. For 2,000 years, that was impossible. Nations were isolated. Empires rose and fell. No single power could control the whole earth. Now we have the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, the International Monetary Fund. We have global treaties, international courts, worldwide communication networks. The framework for one world governance exists for the first time in human history, exactly when the prophecy said it would appear. The technology is ready. The systems are in place. The precedent has been set. The only question remaining is, who will control it? 5 signs. 5 prophecies. 5 impossible predictions made thousands of years ago, now unfolding in real time. Israel reborn after 2 millennia. Global deception spreading at digital speed. Wars and rumors of wars filling every news cycle. Knowledge and travel exploding beyond comprehension. Technology ready for worldwide control. The skeptic will say these are coincidences. Random events that humans are pattern matching into ancient texts. But consider the odds. Consider the precision. Consider that these prophecies, written by shepherds and fishermen in an ancient world of scrolls and sandals, perfectly describe our world of satellites and smartphones. Jesus said in Matthew 24 verse 33, "When you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door." Not one sign. All these things. We're watching them happen. The generation that sees the fig tree bloom, Jesus said, will not pass away until all these things take place. Israel became a nation in 1948. A biblical generation is typically considered 70 to 80 years. Do the math. The signs aren't coming. They're here. The question isn't whether these prophecies will be fulfilled. The question is, are you ready for what comes next? Because ready or not, the final countdown has already begun.